I think at a very high level, I'm intrigued, given your positioning that we're going to go into, what's your worldview of where video and entertainment is going?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it in your brilliant presentation, and what you said can be also said in other geographies. There are differences. Obviously, I would say that Europe is more advanced in the journey of transformation, the US as well, and Africa is yet to face the transformation. But what you said, we see it happening. In our activity as pay TV, we have seen traditionally three categories of players: the free TV, the pay TV, and the streamers. And what is fascinating is to see how things have been changing over the last few years.
Right.
The streaming was mostly about US players. We've seen it on your charts, spreading global contents and communicating on subscribers' growth. Pay TV was much more local players. Most of the pay TV players today are still local players acting within the boundaries of their country, really focusing on distribution. They have their content, but mostly distribution of third-party contents. And they have been facing, to some extent, cord cutting, as we've seen on your chart as well. And free TV has to manage the migration from linear to digital. So those trends have completely changed and makes it more difficult now to have a clear separation between the three categories of players. Everybody is doing a bit of the other ones. Let's say the borders are blurring now. And what matters if we look at that, maybe I think this is the important question. How are we going all to basically go through this transformation? The first thing I believe is really important is revenue. A company needs scale to face and to have the resources to go through this transformation. Technology is playing really now an incredible role in this transformation. It used to be important, but now it's really one of the key pillars of our industry, entertainment industry. Content distinctiveness. For some it's exclusivity, for some it's niche, but you have to get something different in your content offering compared to the others. And that must be understood by your customers. And this must be supported by a strong brand. I mean, the brand is absolutely critical for that journey. I believe also partnerships, the capability, the DNA of company to drive partnerships, because you can't do all that yourself.
Right.
So it's very important to have the openness and to be organized also to accommodate partnerships. And finally, I would say resilience, because this is not maybe your charts are linear, but the reality is not linear. The reality is a bit more bumpy. So you need to have cash flow. You need to be resilient. You know, to have a geographical spread. You need to be able to face those hiccups.
Got it. Let's jump ahead to Asia. A few years ago, you made this investment in View. I know you doubled down on it. I mean, is this now? Are you at a honeymoon stage? Are you having an affair? Are you married? How's it looking?
It's a funny question. Huh? I think Janice is in the room, so I have to be careful what I say. Maybe I would answer as a French.
Yeah.
A bit of the three.
A bit of the three, okay.
Yeah. So why is it an affair? Because it's a very attractive company.
Yeah.
And very successful, so that can be an affair.
Yeah.
We've now invested a bit more than a year ago, and it's incredibly successful. The business is incredibly successful, so I'm quite happy. This is a long honeymoon. Honeymoon usually lasts, what, 1 week, 2 weeks in Asia?
Right.
Yeah, so we have been through 1 year, which is absolutely fantastic. And marriage, it's, you know, it's more maybe a mature decision. So it's something you do when you believe that you have common values, that you have same strategy, and you have good chemistry with the people. And I think that's where we are today. So the marriage is not yet announced, but we think we have a very good chemistry. We and View have a similar approach to the market. So, MIH is multi-choice. That's the big investment which is underway in Africa. We have been CANAL in Africa, in French-speaking Africa, for more than 30 years. Multi-choice started shortly after CANAL, so this is also a long history in pay TV, but in the English and Portuguese-speaking countries. So we are very complementary in terms of geographies.
You know, you're talking about a View, which is obviously a great asset that you're bringing into the fold. At what point do you consolidate that business or assume control of that business? And how, you talked about culture, which is very important, right, across the group. How does that affect the business going forward, and View's capacity to invest in content and maybe do more things in production?
Yeah. So first, we are today minority shareholder of View, which has been driven and developed by PCCW. So we have a lot of respect for our partner, what they've done. So now coming to the culture and bringing businesses together. This has been my journey for the last 12 years. I've been driving more than 30 acquisitions across all the geographies. And maybe the opportunity that we have with CANAL is because we are French, we are not a dominant culture in the world. Maybe some French still believe, but the truth is we are no longer. And then we are a mid-sized company. So we do not have we do not teach the others what to do. Right. The success was mostly driven because we took the time to meet the people, to understand their history, understand the culture. We are in multicultural markets. So if you don't understand the culture, how do you pretend to do entertainment? So that initial phase to understand and to respect also the history of the others, I think has been the key for us to do this growth.
Last thought before you go, what does success look like for you in the future? What's the main goal over the next couple of years?
For us, it's really to get over this 10 billion euro, because we think in our context, this is the revenue we need to be able to continue and drive our transformation on one side. And then we need to basically have very solid foundations over the 3 continents, which I mentioned. Europe, because we were born in Europe, this is where we still have most of our business today. Africa, as it's a growth engine, and Asia, because we also believe that's a growth engine for the future, so we would like to balance our presence in Europe with being here as well.